Now we will be discussing what is variables with the same name. Okay, when you declare a variable, okay, in a block, normally the variable exists from the point of declaration until the end of the block. For example, you declare a variable x. Okay, so the variable will be accessible from line number 8 here, okay, until the end of the block. Okay, in this case the block is the main function here. Okay, the main function here is the block. Okay, so normally all the variables are defined at the beginning of the function. Okay, or it can be defined closely where you are going to use the variable. Okay, now what happened is with the variables with the same names. Okay, so whenever you declare a variable inside another block, okay, so it will have a local, or we call it a block scope. For example, you declare another variable inside an if. For example, if uh, let's say this one is integer y equal to 1. Okay, if y equals to 1, okay, and then you have another block. Okay, so here you are in another block, which is an if block statement here. Okay, is if block statement. So if you want to declare another variable, okay, you want to declare another variable which is called x. Okay, now in this case, this x here, although it has the same name as the one declared outside here, but this x here is only known in this block from the point of its declaration until the end of the declaration here, until the end of the block here. So let's see, if I output what is x, as you can see when I run this code, okay, it's going to output 8, okay, which is 8, which is the one belongs to this one. Now even if you don't put any initial value here, when you run this code, it's going to output some garbage value here, which indicates that this x here is referring to the inner block here and not the outer block here. Okay, and not x from the outer block here. Now what happens if we remove this? If I remove this, okay, and I run it, here it will output number 6 because you don't have the x in the inner block. Okay, so you only have one x throughout this program, which is only this one. So of course this one is now referring to the one that is in the outer block. Okay, so and let's say you output another one x here. Okay, so both of these will display 6. Okay, both of these will display 6 because it is referring to this one. Okay, let's say if you put x equals to 7 here, so when you run again, the first one that is going to display is, which is 7, it is referring to this x, and then when it exits this block, this x no longer exists because it is already outside of its scope. So the scope of this x is only at this point. So x here is referring to this one. That's why you have 6 here. And the block or the scope of x is from the point of its declaration here until the end of this block here. Okay, and the block for this one, the scope for this X is from its declaration until this. Okay, but it is normally not a good idea to have a variable with the same name declared inside one program.